So, Byzantium. I think it's the favorite nation of most players, because with Byzantium, you're kind of one of the weakest nations in the world, and you have to defeat one of the, if not the strongest nation in the world, the Ottomans, in order to succeed. So, I think this is a challenge for a lot of players that, is hard, but very, very satisfying to achieve, right? Not gonna lie, I wanted to make this video earlier, but with the latest patch, my old strat didn't work anymore. The Ottomans started building a lot of forts. So I sat down with my Twitch chat, and for 2 days we just discussed strats, and I think together we found out one of the easiest strats to make this. So if you are a new player or if your old strat doesn't work anymore, this video will show you an easy guide how to just form Byzantium, have an easy early game. You will not need Mercs, you will not need allies. There is always RNG involved, so I can't guarantee you 100% win. I'm not one of these persons who makes a guide and says this is a 100 guaranteed chance. No, it's EU4, it's a very RNG based game. I will say you will win most of the time with this strat, right? Like, let's say 98%. Just follow the steps, very easy. You should be able to refabricate it. It's not too hard. Along the way, I will explain what I do and why. Even if RNG events happens, maybe you'll get them too. I'll explain what I click and why, so you have an easy time to follow this, right? As you might have already noticed, I had a few runs trying this out, right? So, yeah. And it's quite successful. If I just click on this, this is I tried to strat with this one. This is like 100 years later. I didn't go in too hard, but you see, I've kind of a good time. If you look into the subjects, I have Bosnia and Naples as vassals. Yeah, this was quite a successful run, and today I will show you how you can refabricate it. And this was my first try. So let's go in, Iron Man. I have nothing to hide. Let's just call it the run and go into it. So this strat is mainly about navy and non-merc army. You will see very soon why. First thing, you can delete this fort. This fort doesn't give you anything. I always delete it. Forts are kinda useful. The AI can ignore its pathing. But if you have a fort like here, you can't really go past it. If the fort is at the end here, it's useless. On the other side, you get bonuses from the terrain. You see here, -1 dice roll. And the best thing you can get is a mountain, -2. So here would be a great position for a fort. And the Ottomans love to build a fort here. And then they kind of, have you stuck over here. Because, forts have an area around them where you can't cross by and have to siege it. So you're kind of stuck. Yeah, for the beginning, delete this fort. Then go into the estates. Let's do the estates first. Seize the land. Ask for a diet. Just look for something easy to do. Here they want me to get Arta. Art is actually one of the first provinces we want. This is the first conquest we will do. So yes, I'll do this. Yes, then we take all the +1s. Just area rare +1/+1. Then continuing with the clergy, I love to take religious culture. Why do I love to take the religious culture? You see on the right there, -1 unrest and 10% modifier in tax, production, manpower. Really good. And you only get a +3 unrest negative modifier if the religion is wrong, right? And it's nothing, because we will have a lot of unrest when we conquer anyway, so this doesn't matter. Then I will take the patriarch authority, because this is just very good. There's a lot of bonuses that come with that. Then going on to the nobility, what I'll take from the beginning is the supremacy over crown, so you have an easier time with the estates, they will like you more, and nobility integration policy. The subject will become more unloyal, but it is cheaper to integrate them, and you don't get a negative effect from the diplomatic reputation. So you don't get this -3 dip rep thing. And as Byzantium, you need to start with burger loans, because you have 50 ducats, which is basically nothing. So just take them right now. It is kind of a buffer before you go into the real loans. They're really cheap. If you don't know what burger loans are basically, you see up here, give you interest. Okay, you don't see it here, but when the tick comes, you will see. But you see 1% interest. Normal loans have 4% interest. They are very cheap. They're basically, you don't pay anything for them. You just have them around. And you might ask yourself, Florius, why didn't you take Patronage of the Arts? Because prestige helps a lot with everything. I will take this as soon as we start the Ottoman War. This prestige ticks down very fast, and it's useless if you use it now. So that's the reason for that. So, navy-wise, I sent this navy to get the army. And these merchant ships, just burn them into the ground. You don't need them. Going on over here, you see we have even a plus. We will change that now, I'm sorry. I like to build infantry in Eri province over here, down there. Then galleys, same thing, even in Constantinople. And we will build more galleys later. So just keep an eye here a little bit. When these are done, build more. We don't need them immediately, but at some point we do. By the way, I will send my army over here. Rivals, ignore that for now, because our first conquest is going to be Epirus, and what I've personally noticed, if you don't rival anyone and you don't get a mission to claim the land, which I actually did, so this is kind of scary, they don't get allies. If they get allies, it's not too bad, but you will have problems. Because in the first month of EU4, you might even don't know this because you don't declare wars this early, but you have to wait 1 month before you can declare war. So you kind of hope that in the first month that it doesn't get alliances. If the month has passed, you can stop the game, make him your rival, and declare the war. Then it doesn't matter anymore. But until then, just don't do it. Diplomacy. Diplomacy is basically giving you enough allies so the Ottomans will not declare you as their first target. A very easy ally is always Serbia. Just ally Serbia. It's a very easy ally. They're strong enough that the Ottomans will not declare you day one. Then I like to improve relations with Hungary. And something that is a little bit dangerous but also very helpful in the late game is Imereti. You see, the leader of Imereti is very old, and like 50% of the time, if you try to do this, you get him as a PU. Sometimes he dies too early, and Georgia gets him as a PU. Sometimes he gets an heir, and most of the time, you get him under you. The negative effect of this is sometimes Imereti gives military access up here to you, which also means in the Ottoman War, the Ottomans can use this military access. So be careful if you want to risk that, because the strat kinda is about blocking the Ottomans from crossing. I will try worst case scenario, so if an easy time to recreate it. You don't have to do this, but it is helpful to get a PU. Not gonna lie, this PU is a very good target for your enemies to siege while you do other stuff, right? It's a little bit of a punching bag, but it does help a lot. Now that everything is done, what I like to do is select some rulers as leaders and hope they get good stats. Just be careful, if these rulers die in battle or during a siege, you will lose 2 stability, which is a lot. I will take him, because he has 4 shock and 1 siege, which is not too bad. And I also like to select an Admiral day 1. If you get a mission where you need dip points to develop, use that first. An Admiral is not too important right now, but it does help against the early Epirus fleet, even, you know, especially if they get allies. Now comes the dangerous moment where we unpause the game. I will go to speed 4, keep an eye on Epirus, and hope that they don't get allies. Okay, we're now 1 month later. Epirus didn't got any allies. It's a little bit dangerous, as I said, because we got the mission where we want the land. In my experience, this is the only time where they do get an alliance if you don't rival them. I can basically rival them now and get extra prestige when I siege them down. I will not rival anyone else, because I get to choose more rivals after I've won this war. And yeah, in the background, I just improve relations with Hungary and Imereti. You can also try with Austria. Austria will accept your alliance as soon as you have more army, but not right now. So, declaring this war now. Go for your core. It's an easy war goal. And just march in. Just a warning, I'm not 100% sure about this. I don't land my troops right next to them. In my experience, they also get alliances if you are right next to them, if you land your troops here. So I just like to keep a province distance. I'm not 100% sure about this, just heads up. I will try to immediately stack wipe them so they don't become a problem. And this is why you need Serbia, because around this time you're very vulnerable against the Ottomans and you don't want them to attack on you. And if you have like 1 ally, it's already enough and they attack someone else. Try to also not destroy their fleet. I will puppet them, because you get the navy, and the most important thing I will show you after the war. By the way, these events will pop up, because you have no more crown land after all of this. Not gonna lie, you will get your crown land back from conquering. Don't click this. 25 minimum autonomy hurts you so much, it's not worth it. It's like 1/4 of all of your income, production, tax, manpower. Gone for years, like centuries, because you can't get rid of this effect easily. So just deny this. The game will spam you with this. Don't get yourself this 30% crown land is not worth what they give you for it. A negative modifier is so bad, it will cripple you for such a long time. And after the first conquest against the Ottomans, you will get so much crown land back. If you didn't know, if you get more land, especially if you're a small nation, you get a lot of crown land back, also from development, and we will also develop. You get some institutions in our nation, so just don't do it, it's not worth. Okay, I wasn't very lucky, because it took 271 days for a level 1 fort. You have no pressure with this. Take your time. If you have the Serbians as an ally, the Ottomans shouldn't declare on you. What I'm gonna do now is take the core for myself, demand a lot of money, force religion, and vassalize him. That's quite important. You have to vassalize him. This allows us something amazing. Firstly, you keep his navy. Indirectly, I know he's not loyal, but he still could attack randomly the Ottomans, which is good. Going into here, you see both of these nations are not very loyal now. which is absolutely fine. This is the fault of this modifier, plus 15 Liberty Desire. But now what we have unlocked is Strong Duchies. You unlock this if you have 2 vassals. PUs doesn't count. Other forms of vassalization doesn't count. Only 2 vassals allow you to get Strong Duchies, which decreases the Liberty Desire by 10%. And you get 2 more Dip Rep slots, which means you can get more alliances on top of your vassals, which is very good. So this is why we did the vassalization, which makes Athens loyal again. And Epirus doesn't matter for now. We will improve the relations for later. We actually just need this to kind of decrease the bad effect of this. The 15% really hurt. With the minus 10, it's only 5%, which is very manageable. To get Athens loyal, you basically just royal marry them, which they will do as soon as they're loyal. And they are loyal now, so just 1 tick, you see, bam. Talking about ticks, I can show you the interest now. I have got no new loans. And ignore the income at the moment, it's spoils of war. I'm at a deficit. But you see the 5 loans are 0.07 ducats, which is basically nothing. This is why burger loans are so great. So, moving my army over here. For this strat to work, we will actually go to Constantinople, which is something I would have never done before, because you're such a large target for the Ottomans. And what you can also do is just stop paying for your army. I will try to get this alliance with Hungary. I will list you a few things that help here. You see, we are not far away from getting a royal marriage. We see they don't like the Ottomans. We haven't chosen any rivals yet. So let's do this. We choose the Ottomans. We see they don't like the Venetians, so we can choose the Venetians. And not gonna lie, from these 2 nations, we want land. The Venetians are all around us, the Ottomans are all around us. And then at the end of the day, I also like to choose Genoa, because they have these 2 islands, they have this stuff over here. Basically, I'm choosing rivals which I know I will conquer in some time from now. And at the same time, it's the same rivals he has, so this very much works in my favor. And if you want to boost it a little bit, you can go in here, waste some of your prestige, and make a scornful insult. Because, actually we can do it on the Ottomans. Because we get power projection this way, which is also very helpful. And it also improves the relations with the rivals of the Ottomans. Or basically the nations that rival the Ottomans. Which is also Hungary, but also Austria. So a lot of nations. You can also take stuff like a Dip Rep advisor. Right now he's too very expensive. What I would love is a discipline advisor. Don't get that. By the way, talking about this, do a mill focus. Do it earlier. At this time I actually forgot. You can do this immediately in the beginning. Do a mill focus. I will also get a land maintenance dude, because he's +1. I kind of try to catch up now. You kind of want to rush mill tech 4, because if you get it before the Ottomans, you kind of have a huge bonus. At this point where you transport your navy over there, you can delete all your transport ships. The goal now is to build 18 galleys, even if it's over limit. It is fine. Just take loans, build these galleys. It is very important to have 18. Yeah, I think this is a good point to tell you actually what the strat is, right? So the strat is that we will have our army here and we will build it up more. We have a lot of manpower, just use all of this manpower. Go over limit, build as much as you can with your army, just use your manpower pool. Money doesn't matter, you will get all the money and even more back in the war, trust me. What we want to do with this army is rush down Gallipoli. There's 2 ways to break through a fort so you can rush it down, right? You can use cannons, which we don't have yet, or you can use ships. In my experience, 18 ships are enough. 18 galleys are enough to crack open a fort and make it stormable. You will lose a lot of manpower, but the Ottomans will have no chance to get to this side. Now you're saying, Florius, how do you know that the Ottomans don't have anything on this side? Basically, you just wait for them to declare war over here. You see when all of the troops walk past you, they have 2 to maybe 3 armies. Mostly they only have 2, maybe a smaller stack, which you could manage by yourself. Just wait for that to walk over here and you know, you see when the Ottomans are at war. Most of the time, still RNG game. Can't promise it, but yeah, it did work. Every time I tried it, just from my experience, but wait for war, then declare for Gallipoli, crack it open with your fleet, storm it down, Ottomans are stuck over here. That's basically, I will show it in practice in a sec. Just so you know, we will do a little bit of a time jump until that happened. If I do something in between, I will edit it in. If nothing important happens, we see ourselves at the beginning of the war against the Ottomans. Oh yeah, one more thing. Because I'm risking it. He doesn't have any heir. And I can make an alliance now. The alliance will pretty much guarantee me a royal marriage. So I will risk this PU. The moment I do this, he gets an heir. Okay. I guess for me, the strategy didn't work. The game likes to bully you. I mean, I think that's the #1 rule in EU4. The game likes to bully the player. Then I will cancel the alliance. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just as I said, every time I want to build new ships, I'll just take a loan. It will maybe put me into the negative. Currently not paying for the army. Right now it doesn't matter. You see when they walk over and they will not attack you. Pretty sure. I will build another ship here. I will build another ship here. Now I'm up to 18. That's enough to kill his fleet and also storm the fort. Just galleys. You don't need transport. You're stuck over here, but it's fine. What's also very good to see is how much allies the Ottomans have. Sometimes the ally AQ, sometimes some other nation. Worst case scenario, the ally Crimea. In that case, I would actually think about restarting because they can walk from up here. You can also wait for Crimea not to join after being in a war. If the allies are over here, you have an easy time. Okay, right now I saw I can make a royal marriage with Hungary. A royal marriage is pretty much a guaranteed alliance. Even if it's not enough for an alliance, you still kind of use the dip slot. So in future, you will not have the problem with too much diplomatic relations because they already have diplomatic relations with you. So royal marriage is always good. And in the long term or short term, and a guaranteed alliance. Waiting a little bit and then bam, alliance with Hungary. I will not need them, so I will not call them into the war. Now I'm pretty much guaranteed that the Ottomans will not attack me. Right now, I can't use them for offensive wars. I don't need them to. But, you know, just that you know they have a truce. Telling you all the stuff I know here. By the way, these traits are RNG. And I just showing worst case over here because I got 2 bad ones. And yeah, you see he's already building forts. At least he's building this fort. He loves to build this. Sometimes he also builds one over here just to cover up this area. I guess I'm quote-unquote lucky right now that he doesn't. Ooh, sorry, army. Oh, they might be attacking Albania, which is not good. Oh no, actually. I'm just seeing the troops walk around. I don't know what they're doing. Oh. The Ottomans declared war on Sulkadir. So I think that is actually the moment where I want to go to war. So what I do is I start paying for my troops. I go into the loans. You see this army goes over here. This army goes over here. So I need to wait for my ships to finish. This is very, very early. And I need a few more troops because you need around 10k to storm. I like to go up to 17k, 18k troops. So I have an easy time storming this. And then maybe another fort immediately, like over here. You don't need to, but it does help a lot. And if you want to cancel this fort, if you go into the province, they will delete the fort before you enter the province. If you want to stop this fort, this is the way to do it. I learned this when I still tried doing stuff with my old strategy. That you kind of can prevent this fort from building. And you see I actually got Crownland back from the first conquest. I didn't show it. It's like 2.8, which doesn't look a lot, but for one province, 2.8, that's a lot of Crownland. You think about this, gives you 5% back, then it's a lot, right? For one province, very good. Imagine what we get from the Ottomans. So, slowly building up this army. I think if we're up to 15k, I will do the storm. And I kind of have to pray that their troops are stuck over here. You see they build new troops, but even if they build new troops, it will never be enough to kill the 15k you will have over here. Okay, Ottomans are here. This is dangerous. Wait for them to go away. Amazing. Good. I give my diplomat something to do, by the way. Improve with allies, improve with subjects. Advisor-wise, if you get a discipline dude, that's very good. If you get a morale dude, that's decent. Not as good anymore, but use them. Other advices you don't need right now. What I will do right now is I will go for Patronage of the Arts, because, as I said, it is very helpful while the war is going on. They give modifiers like less AE, improve relations, stuff like this, but also moral. Right now the Ottomans don't have the highest miltech, so I can actually go in without being killed. The first miltech gives a lot of moral and it gives a lot of tactics, which is very important. So whoever has this first basically dominates the battlefield. I learned this the good and the bad way, so don't forget about this. You want to rush this. As I said, do it earlier than me. It helps a lot. Now declaring for, let's just say Gallipoli, right? I'm attacking his navy here, which is good. I'm just praying that his army is like 3 provinces away, because this is kind of the time we need. I will barrage this, because 18 ships are enough. And you see here, it says 10k will be needed to storm this. Yeah, we have 13k infantry. We have 2 cavalry, which doesn't count. Don't forget that. And yeah, more troops are coming, but I will risk it now. This is very on the edge. What I'll do is, you see, consolidate. Consolidate is very important here. Every time you click it, it kind of reorganizes your army. So let's just say if all armies have 900, it will stock it up that every army is 1000 and one is maybe at 0 or something like this, right? So it will fill up the ranks. This actually helps because this is kind of combat. So if you shift consolidate means that you will keep armies that are at 0 strength, as it says there. So you don't lose armies and they can still be refilled. If you click it without shift, it deletes the armies that are empty. So don't do that. Just shift, consolidate, spam this button. I will show it to you. I'm just spamming this button. You see it fills up the ranks. This helps to make way less losses. It's so good. Yeah, and as I told you, This was very much on the edge. If you look here, my moral would have nearly broke here. Yeah, I'll try to kind of siege some more provinces up, and as soon as the recovered moral-wise, I will storm this province. More troops are being built. And my goal now is to kind of hunt down his navy, because he will build heavy ships and stuff in the background. I don't want this, so I'll just try to stop him from ever being a naval power by just actively attacking his navy now. Try to do this, but don't forget to keep a little bit back here. These are just transport ships, so I'm not scared of this, but otherwise, just keep enough here that your navy is still strong enough to fight his navy. This is just a numbers game. Have double or a little bit more. I would say try to have 4 more galleys than him. And also blockade him over here, because otherwise he can just walk over. I had this in a stream where I attacked his navy here and he just walked over with 18k. I'm like, okay. So yeah, this can be a game breaker. Don't forget that. See, he's attacking. We may lose this naval battle, but he will lose his navy over here. Now I'll reinforce this there. I lost this battle. I will retreat. This ship is actually at 0 strength. But this bought me enough time that I can send my fleet over. And if I need to, if he would have crossed, I could have just suicide my fleet over here. Because as long as a naval battle is going on, he can't cross, which means his crossing is reset. So I could buy enough time for this navy to get back. So this was not a navy that should win. This was just a navy that bought enough time for the rest of my navy to arrive. I will put everything that is damaged into the port to repair. And the rest is just on naval guard. I will cancel some of these troops because I feel like I'm confident with the number of troops that I have. This is basically fine. I feel like I could even just siege this fort down normally. You know what I actually will do? I will use 2 troops here to go to this province just to stop the construction of this fort. Otherwise, what you could also say is, hey, this fort is actually really good and I want to have it for a strategic position, which is also actually true. So let's just go with that argument. I will actually let the fort be built so I can use it. It's just 200 ducats that I don't need to waste. So I guess we just steal this fort from him, and then we can delete this, because this mountain position is way better. Kinda keeps everything down here very safe. Be careful of transporter ships. I see all of his transporter ships are over here, but he could theoretically naval land instant over here. Just be careful. I'll try to siege up the naval coast very early on, so he can't at least land immediately. In theory, they could just drop troops right next to you. The good thing is, he's currently at war over here, so most of these troops are busy over here, right? I'm just telling you everything that I know that could happen, so you're not getting surprises that you didn't expect. Of course, you're getting loans now. That's very normal, but if you look at the loans, they're very, very small. Yeah, don't be scared about that. Seeing this, amazing. This helps so much. Yeah, you lose Miltech. He probably could already be at 4. I'm not, because I'm using all my mill points to crack this open. But as you see, they will never reach me, so I'm not really scared about using my mill points here. Oh, actually, Genoa giving me money. They're my rival. Your rival giving you money means you're doing the right thing, right? This is the Byzantine powerhouse recreating itself. And even the rivals are like, yeah, I'll support that. Actually never got this. That's actually funny. By the way, something I totally forgot to mention, what we could have done. As soon as you move your army over here, and I'm sorry that I'm correcting myself afterwards because I'm remembering some of the things that help, but you don't need to do, is you could build a spy network in the Ottomans. As it's actually really, really good. If you get it up to 100%, or actually just 100, get a 20% modifier for sieging, which is amazing. Yeah, so get that, your sieges will be that much faster. 0.6. Yeah. So it is a modifier that works against his defensiveness. And you see he has plus 10 luck. There's a lucky nations modifier in this game, which basically just buffs a few nations. It is a little bit busted. Maybe I'll show the lucky nations modifier here. It is a little bit bonkers what it gives to nations. But yeah, you have to fight against the lucky nations nation. The Ottomans have it for the first 100 years or something. This is why they are even stronger than they should be. Don't get overwhelmed from that. Just continue the siege game. I'll actually try to get my navy over here to destroy his navy once again. He could just hide again, but it doesn't matter. It's about kind of, you know, trying to make some hits, destroy his navy a little bit. Ooh! Oh, I was scared for a second. Then I saw it's 12 transport ships and 1 light ship. So we should actually win this. I like how my vassal does all the sieges over here. That's just very nice of him. See, that's another reason why I like to keep around vassals. They do all of the dirty work. While you just actually attack. At this point, I could actually call in Serbia, probably also Hungary. Yeah. I don't need them though. I really don't need them. And the good thing is, if I keep his army alive, which I'm basically doing here. What happens after a while if the Ottomans are already defeated? Everyone attacks him, right? Everyone wants land, and you want all of his land. So this way you keep his armies alive, and you kind of keep him strong, so no one is attacking him. Oh, by the way, I'm getting this, and actually getting some innovativeness for that. Just ignore my manpower. It's actually not too important. You don't need that much manpower. You just need the initial manpower. I could actually normally consolidate this to get a bit of my money back, because I am over navy limit. I am over army limit. So yeah, I do be edging the economies here, but it's not as bad as getting like 5 merc companies and going bankrupt. Trust me, it's so much easier. There's a lot of strats out there that are basically saying, oh, just do this, do that. And they don't always work. I didn't like that. I think this pretty much always works, because the Ottomans will always attack something over here and always will send their armies over here at some point. And you saw the moment it happened, it just walked past, and I could just easily do this. I'm very happy that I can show you this tactic. I'm very happy that I wasn't satisfied with the first draft that didn't work anymore and had like a 20% chance. And I sat down for 2 days to work together with my Twitch chat to get this done. If you want to follow me on Twitch, feel free to do so. If you want to be part of this strats creating, this is a lot of fun. So feel free to join. I'm always searching for people who are willing to help me in these kind of things. It's a lot of fun. No, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, look at this. Amazing event. This will cost a lot of money, but we get army tradition, prestige, and mall of armies. This is so good. If you get this, click it. Amazing. Last siege is being done. Bam. Very nice. I think we're gonna peace out. What I want is 100% this fort. I want all the forts basically now. Then these 2 forts. And then like 1 province in Bulgaria. That's basically it. This is all the land we want in the first war. We literally don't need more land. 885 ducats, that's enough to pay back everything. And if you had any allies now, you could just stop the alliance right here. My Ottoman here didn't have any allies, so I don't need to stop this. I actually don't know what I waste my points for, but basically, I think I'll just take more land. Oh no, I'm actually very much on the edge. He doesn't want to give me more. Okay, so I'll settle for this. This actually allows me to pay back all of my loans easily. So, bam. First conquest done. Thing I will do, I will delete this fort, because I have this fort now, which is way better. And I will keep this fort, because it's actually hills over here, and, you know, keeping this straight here safe is very important. Don't core this. I took this province in Bulgaria, because I want to release Bulgaria. And as you see, if I hover over the Bulgarian cores, there's a lot of cores over here that you can give to Bulgaria. And the reconquest is always less AE than a conquest, right? The reconquest of all of these lands is very good. Basically, we get all lands up here in the north and all the lands down here in the south. North, Bulgaria, south, us. Very easy, very straightforward. Amazing. Phoenix rises. You might ask yourself now, hey Florius, don't you give the Ottomans time now to get their armies over via ship? And I'm saying no, because I will immediately declare war again. We have to wait 1 month, and I can just declare this war again. -5 stability for truce breaking, and +5 war exhaustion. The good thing is we're Orthodox, so we have a modifier against stability, so it's cheaper. Yeah, and the only nation we will make really angry is nations I don't care about. I have Hungary as an ally, so it doesn't matter. I could also get Austria. You see, as I told you, we increased our army size. Austria, without doing anything, would like an alliance now. So I even have Austria as an ally now. That's very easy. If you want to improve your odds about getting this alliance, just improve relations with them. It's that easy. All of my Byzantine runs, the Austrians always love an alliance with you at this point. So try to go for it. It's an amazing defensive alliance. They will drag in a lot of wars, but you don't have to join them if you don't want to, or you just sit back and let the Austrians do their stuff. So, time has passed. Doesn't have any friends. Reconquest. Go for this province, because it's the most high def. Yeah, truce break. Doesn't matter. Bam. We at war again. Siege this, and the other army tries to go for the coast. Here. The navy out again to stop his army from crossing over. This is, of course, way easier now. He has no real chance to do anything anymore. So we took the war goal. Now we get ticking war score. Try to take all of the coast. That's the main goal now. Take the coast, because then they can't land any troops without getting a warning at last, right? Because if they have the coast, they can just paradrop troops into you via transport ships. In my case, they're locked over here, but that doesn't have to be 100%. So I'm still rushing everything over here just to give you that feel. Once again, the Hungarians want to join, but we really don't need the help. These wars are so easy now. Something I totally forgot about. You could just repay all of these loans. Okay, I really feel stupid for this. But as soon as you take the money from the Ottomans, only thing I really lost is I got a lot of inflation from this. So as soon as you get the money from the Ottomans, just repay the loans. In all of the thinking what I should do, I totally forgot about that. I'm really sorry. Repay your loans immediately. And yeah, I see, I still have 500 ducats. I took so much money from the Ottomans, and I needed no mercs, not anything. So the little bit of loans that I did take are just repaid. And you can also immediately, after declaring this war, just boost yourself up to 1 stability and get this a little bit down too. I'm currently sieging his capital. All of the Balkans has been sieged up. As I told you, the Austrians could call you into wars. I feel like in this case they have it under control and they shouldn't go down to me, so I'll just join. This is bad luck, by the way. These wars most of the time don't happen too early. Right now, they did happen. I doubt that they go down to me because they have to siege through all of Austria and Hungary. So I feel kind of safe about it. But as I told you, RNG is huge in this game. So if stuff like this happens, don't get sad. It's normal. By the way, if you don't want your vassals to suicide like this, you can go to your vassals up here and go to defense. It will stick around in allied territory, but will not initiate offensive operations. So basically, you tell them to, hey, don't attack, so they don't lose useless manpower. I gave all of these lands to the Bulgarians, because I'm planning to give all of that land to them. What I won't give them is this province. The first reason why I want to take this is because it's my core, so I don't want to release Bulgaria from here. The second reason is I want to keep the Ottoman capital here. And if they have access to the ocean, like this, they will keep the capital here. If you kind of encircle it, they will move the capital somewhere else. If I keep these 2 provinces to him for the next war, he will basically keep his capital here and we have a very easy time to capture his capital again. Think about it. This is why I do this weird border stuff. But in the end of the day, it's all a strat and it works so well. It is amazing. So just heads up, for most of these things, I'm playing with all DLCs. And I'm also having the Byzantium flavor pack, I think it's called, which gives you the mission tree, which gives you some of these events. I feel like you don't need it. But I also feel like I should say it because some people are like, hey, what are these events? Hey, what are these cores? What are these missions he's using? So before we go into the mission tree, I just want to say that I am using it. And I think most of you are using it too. Just for the few people who don't, just a heads up. This should still work pretty much the same. But for the later game, be advised, I'm using that. What I basically want for this war is to take everything around other nations. Something like that. So I know it looks horrible, but this way the nations around me can't attack the Ottomans anymore, and that's actually amazing. This we can take the next war, no problem, but this is quite important. So the Hungarians, Austrians, Serbians, Venetians don't get ideas of taking anything over there, right? I mean, if you want to be extra careful, you can also try to get for this, because in theory the Venetians could claim that. And if you want to be very five-head, something I haven't done, but you could do, is give 4 provinces in wars to your allies. If you want to save extra money. As you see, you don't need it, but you could save a few ducats if you want to. Like if this would be a 4th province, I could give it to Athens, which is my vassal. And from vassals, you can always take your land back. So at the end of the war, I give it back to me. And then he paid for the fort for the entire war, which is one of the strats that you could use. I say this is a beginner's guide, so I'm not going too deep in all of the amazing strats. But yeah, you could basically do this to save a little bit of money. As you see, the war against Burgundy is happening. I'm not really noticing anything about it, so joining that was actually the right choice. Because I don't lose Austria as an ally, and I'm not getting attacked or anything because I'm too far away. Basically, the AI always attacks the weakest nation in an alliance first, and these HRE nations are at the moment weaker than me, so they go for that. And they can't really reach me, so they don't really go to me. The game is crying about low maintenance. Ignore that. If you don't fight the Ottomans actively, it really doesn't matter. Going into the better mill tech. Are we actually before the Ottomans now? We are. So we could theoretically bully him now. Let me try this. Let me go over here. I will keep this down. You want to have inflation always under 8, above 8 or 7. I'm not 100% sure, but bad events will happen. Just try to keep it down. I will try now to bait this army in while I regain strength with this army to get some more war score out of this. 14 is actually beatable. Yeah, another 12k emerges from the shadows. But yeah, 14 is beatable. Maybe I get another one because, you know, we get some land back. We'll get more force limit anyway. So I'll get 2 more just to get this army baited in and killed. So my army is now ready over here, 18k. He doesn't see that. I do. I will let him walk over. Yeah, now he's walking over, and I will now block him off. What I can do now is just walk in and basically try to stack wipe his army. What I can get is a modifier over here. If you're lucky, you'll get some event to get more Patriarch Authority. When you have 10, you can get this, which gives you more manpower, recovery speed, and more discipline. Very good for war. You don't need it, but if you get the chance, you could use it. I much more like to use the points for the institution embracement cost and spread, because it does take forever to get the institution through your nation. Attacking. Looking into the rolls. My rolls are as always horrendous. Oh, actually, this is very good. 0. Oh, this is amazing. Oh my god. I should record more often. This is very good. On stream, this doesn't happen. Okay. I did annihilate him. You don't see it in the battle report. But basically what happened is I damaged his army. He wanted to retreat. He couldn't. He got stack wiped. So I just deleted a huge part of his army. We're getting closer to the land we want. Without demanding this, I could already just demand it. But you know what? I'm actually going for the full thing. The best thing about this, you can do this again and again and again. Oh, the war. The war with Burgundy ended. Good job, Austria. I did a lot of help, I know. So we could just wait for another army to arrive. If it's not too big, we could just kill it. As you see, the Miltech makes a difference. So we have an easy time. The only thing that prevents you sometimes from doing this is your vassals just blockading this. In my case, they're just Bing chilling over here. But yeah, that's not always the case. Okay, I'm actually so far that he would give me everything except these 2 provinces that I want to keep him anyway. So his capital stays here. So I think I'll just peace out. Can I take a bit more money? No, it's actually on point, taking all the provinces. AE-wise, no one would care besides him. The war went on for 3 years. And we just have... First we took his money. Now we're taking his land. This is just amazing. So piecing out now, bam. Look at this. This looks amazing. We've basically reconquered all of this. Going into the missions, we now see reconquest for Greece, reconquest for Bulgaria. This gives us like a aggressive expansion modifier and legitimacy. And we got most of this land back. From this point on, you're pretty much safe, especially with nations like Muscovy wanting an alliance with you very soon. And with Austria having an alliance, or just Hungary. You got a lot of claims with the missions now. So you could expand into Naples. We have a small deficit, but, you know, you can always juggle these numbers around. You can save this very soon by basically just saying, okay, I'm not paying my army anymore, and I mothball my navy because you don't need them. Looking over here, the truce goes for 13 years. So you don't need your navy for a while, just mothball it. And then you see over here, you actually make a positive, right? So not too hard. We are now in a good position. No loans. All land reconquered. 1 battle with the Ottomans and we completely annihilated them. You know, I think I've just proven that EU4 is just an Excel spreadsheet with graphics. There's so much modifiers going into everything. I tried my best to show you everything. If you want to join future projects like this, check out Twitch. If you want to follow up to this guide, let me know. Write it into the comments. And otherwise, I would just say we end this now. Thank you for watching and I hope it helped you. Bye.